Grapefruits.
The fun never ends with Dragon Ball. Today's victim is the Supreme Kai. Now, in case you guys don't know, the Supreme Kai in Dragon Ball Daima, he fought a bunch of goons, bunch of thugs from the demon realm, and in the same respect, that's nothing to brag about. But it seemed to have created a bit of a fuss. Seems like 12,000 people agree with this shit. The Supreme Kai's lying, he's a good fighter. Or the false idea that he's just not a good fighter in general. Well, we all know that's the biggest crock of shit, because if anybody watched Dragon Ball Z, the introduction of the Supreme Kai in the Buu saga, straight away, his presence caused the
nameless Namekian
to soil his own pants. Now you may think, well, that's just because of his rank as the Supreme Kai. That's why Piccolo was unsteady on his feet. He couldn't believe the Supreme Kai would visit Earth. Well, take a look at this right here. In terms of his power next to Piccolo, Super Namekian Piccolo, by the way, it's stated in the Daizenshu his strength is far superior to the Super Namekian Piccolo. So it's not just his presence. No. He was stronger. And he's got that divine presence as well. But no, the false narrative has to continue. Here is some information about the power of the Supreme Kai that comes from other sources. As gods, the Supreme Kais possess a high degree of might, with each of the Supreme Kais of Universe 7 being said strong enough to defeat Frieza before his training in a single blow. That's right, thank you Chi-Chi for posting this right here. Remember this, guys? At that time there were 5 Kaioshins, each was strong enough to destroy Frieza with a single blast. 4 of them were killed by Buu. You remember all those awesome events on Namek? The powerful Super Saiyan, the powerful Frieza. That's right, Supreme Kai, bye-bye. He'd whip all their asses. But not just that. He has stood up to Majin Buu twice, that's right. Not just against Fat Buu, but back in the day he stood up and was the single survivor against Buu. Yes, the Grand Supreme Kai stood in and saved him. But to think this guy took a pummeling from Buu and lived to tell the tale, don't tell me this guy can't stand up for himself. This right here, this post, is just more bait to lie about Dragon Ball and create false narratives, which happens all the time. People take surface level stuff, they post surface level shit, and the fans who don't read everything, which the percentage of that is going up these days, those people will just agree with this shit and believe that is the truth. Because it's easy to push. To the average fan getting into Dragon Ball these days, or the Supreme Kai, who's he? Oh, the guy who just does nothing and he got beat up by Majin Buu. That's it? No, it's not. That's not it. Let me take you back to that pummeling by Majin Buu, by the way. In chapter 462, after Majin Buu effortlessly just smacked Gohan out of the way, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan that is, the Supreme Kai has the courage, the damn balls. Yeah, I don't care about the new law in Dragon Ball Daima about Supreme Kais not being boys or girls. He had the damn nuts. He had the damn grapefruits to stand in front of Buu, and using telekinesis was able to push him back. Even though it did nothing, what did Gohan do? He kicked him when he wasn't looking? Congratulations. But Supreme Kai takes a pummeling from Majin Buu. By the way, this is Gohan after one kick. Look at him. He is absolutely wrecked. A Super Saiyan 2 Gohan that Supreme Kai was able to lock down in the tournament, by the way. He was able to hold him back, despite him thinking he's not going to be able to do it. Supreme Kai greatly underestimated his own power there. Anyway, we carry on. Supreme Kai's been hit about 3 times now, and he's still fighting back against Majin Buu with everything he's got.
Grapefruits.
But this guy doesn't know how to fight, right? This is Majin Buu in the Majin Buu arc. And he's standing up to him better than the son of the main character. And he still gets pummeled. And he's still getting beat up. And he's still trying to get back up. There comes the cheap shot by Gohan. And Buu just cartwheels it off. Big deal. And here's the second hit on Gohan. Bye-bye now. 2 hits. Well, you could say it's an energy ball, right? Wow. The energy balls are much stronger than just being punched in the face. Okay, no problem. Supreme Kai, what does he do? Saves Gohan's ass with his own power there. Destroying the ball that Buu created with his own power. And that's not all. That's not all. For the next few episodes in the anime and the next few chapters here in the manga, Supreme Kai is walking everywhere, almost dead himself. Searching for Gohan, he did not give up on the kid. But this guy is just lying to himself about being a good fighter, is he?
Grapefruits.
Too bad he's up against the most powerful foe. People need to go back and rewatch Dragon Ball, or reread Dragon Ball, just to know how powerful the Supreme Kai is. Like, check this out. You want to talk about Zamasu? While by nature they are much stronger than a regular Kai, if any particular Kai were to exhibit a high enough battle prowess and or power, they would be eligible to become a Supreme Kai, as seen with Zamasu. Supreme Kai's already paid his dues there. Another cool factor in Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 16, he is training the Supreme Kai. I'm sorry, he's training the Supreme Kai. He's training future Trunks. It's because of him he was able to prepare for the rise of Babidi. He helped him train with a sword, but he's not a fighter. How would he know how to train somebody in the art of combat?
Grapefruits.
Well, right here. And again, he shows the grapefruits to attack Babidi. And the only reason he got knocked down was because Dabura hit him with a sly shot here. When he's off guard, Babidi would be dead because he's got power greater than Super Namekian Piccolo. He can easily karate chop through Babidi's barrier. But thank you, Dabura. Thank you for showing us that you would be able to handle Piccolo with ease here in the Buu Saga. But anyway, in the future timeline here, Supreme Kai doesn't give up. He shows the same tenacity. After being crushed by Babidi's magic and Dabura's sneak attack, he still finds it in him to use his remaining power to hold down Dabura so Trunks could finish him off. Not that Trunks needed that, he could just kill him anyway, but it was to send a message. To send the damn message that the Supreme Kai has gigantic
Grapefruits.
because he is from the fruit tree after all. And in Dragon Ball Daima, he calls Dr. Aransu his sister. So yes, Supreme Kai is the one with the
Grapefruits.
That's the Glind for you. He sacrificed himself to bring peace to the world, but then Goku Black turns up. Which leads to our Goku pressing a button, and Xeno wipes out the timeline. He even had the damn grapefruits to step in front of Goku and Majin Vegeta to break up their fight. And he didn't back down because he was a coward. He backed down because he still needed to stop Majin Buu. It was the bigger threat. He had to find another way. So he had the grapefruits to take on Buu with just Gohan by his side, which is nothing to brag about in the Buu Saga, let's be honest. But long story short, Supreme Kai is a pretty good fighter. If you want to know exactly where he is, it's also stated that his power is on par with Cell Games Goku. So if that is the case, yes, that is way higher than Super Namekian Piccolo, not enough to beat Cell or Dabura, but that still clears a lot of Dragon Ball Z and original Dragon Ball. Supreme Kai, you are a pretty good fighter, even if you just attacked a couple of goons in Dragon Ball Daima. Don't let these fans tear you down, old Lord of Lords. You've still got time to train in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, so when Frieza comes back as Black Frieza, you can reclaim your throne of being able to destroy him with a single blast. And even if you cannot do that, you'll go down as the gutsy bastard you are because you have